this is Qianying Zhou, and this is my video for assessment task 2 for E7F7546. First of all, understanding constructivism and how does it apply in the classroom practice are the fundamental information we needed for today's topic. Vygotsky's claim that constructivism's focus on the learner constructing their own knowledge should connect with their own experience and social and cultural context, ultimately forming a personal and subjective knowledge network. Social constructivism theory is a sub-theory of the constructivism. It essence belief that student learns as not as an isolated individual, but as an active members of the society under the specific social context, where students make sense of knowledge. Petrov further defines that social constructivism is formed by three aspects, including reality, knowledge, and learning. Reality is defined as the multiple circumstances that establish based on the individual world and formed and shares with others. Knowledge is the consequence of the interactions with others in a certain external environment, including the cultural factor, personal identity, and belonging. Learning is considered as a social process that takes place in the social context and depends on individual long-term or short-term conditions varieties. Constructivism includes two forms, psychological and social. Roswell highlighted these definitions as extension information for Vygotsky learning theory. Psychological constructivism is focusing on the individual and the process of individual construct knowledge, and in social constructivism forms is representing the individual social context. Learners should be able to self-regulate and engage in the multi-cognitions while they are in the active learning atmosphere and actively participated. Petrov also emphasizes that social interaction is one of the fundamental elements help learners to construct their personal understanding of knowledge, information, and develop their own independent learning skill. In terms of constructivism, teaching strategy, discovery learning and inquiry learning. Discovery learning understands the relationship between factors and be able to establish the network that connecting involved factors through multiple experimentation. About the inquiry learning, students self-investigate on the questions that they find out during the learning process and try to figure out the solutions with the purpose of developing of independent learning skill. To trail suggests that group work, reflection, and outside school investigation, where involved scaffolding and guided practice, students can develop skill while they are demonstrating their personal understanding of knowledge during the times of participation. The first ICT learning tool that I choose is Zoom. Zoom was firstly created for video communication as software. However, because of its easy-to-learn feature and high accessibility, it has become one of the most well-known tools for the remote teaching. There is no pure educational feature in it for teaching purpose, but like chat, share screen, breakout room, whiteboards, and notes, these optional features are really helpful for class engagement and class demonstration. Zoom includes one of the important elements of constructivism, which is the social interaction. Zoom provides a platform for online class participation with many useful features, such as raise hand and go slower, go faster. As the result, to let the students as involved as possible, just like they were in physical classroom. In terms of satisfying student diverse needs, Zoom includes alternative options with the purpose of maximizing information achieved in the multiple circumstances. For learners with the hearing impairments, they can make use of the chat room where they can enter and save their chat record. In addition, Zoom adjusts the needs of learners in different language contexts. Being able to type in and save chat history will allow them to edit the information after class. In fact, there are also existing concerns regarding the ethical issue in Zoom in terms of the educational purpose. Specifically, its various interacting feature has high potential that's leading the class management while teacher demonstrating the learning content. As well as the potential risk of cyberbullying, the various interactions take place in chat room and video calling might become a public tool that's used for cyberbullying since the high accessibility. Nevertheless, to minimize the occurrence of the unethical and inappropriate behavior whilst the student using Zoom during the class time, it has upgrades with a bunch of highlighting options to the educator with the effective demonstration purpose. Teachers usually organize their online class as hosts. Zoom provides a different options for hosts to differentiate their online meeting with a specific setting, such as the allowance of the use of chat and the allowance of shared screen and unmute microphone. The second ICT learning tool that I choose is the Notability. Notability was created for note-taking and document management as a software. It has become well known because of its powerful online resource note-taking features and a straightforward navigation display. Notability has demonstrated psychological constructivism, which is focusing on the individual and the process of the individual construct knowledge. Directly document importations and additions not only can save the time for paper handout in class and effectively minimize the possibility of disruption. It also helpful for individuals' idea brainstorming since the Notability directly provides an option called Web Export on any unfamiliar information. Students can easily establish their personal knowledge network and participate on scaffolding activities in Notability, which highlighted the effective process on individual constructing knowledge. For diverse learner, Notability includes alternate options with the purpose of creating an optimal note-taking environment for different study needs. For a student who are afraid of missing the information that teacher said in class, Notability provides a recording option. Students can hear this information after class. At the same time, there has been a concern regarding the ICT ethical issues of Notability due to the fact that it can easily crop and import the online resource. There are still potential risks of the copyright of the duplications and addition from original creator. Therefore, it is necessary for teachers to demonstrate the appropriate copyright information to students while introducing this software in the class practice. My final ICT learning tools I want to introduce is the Duolingo. Duolingo is an online platform that includes a language learning website. It is a useful online resource for the language learner and who else has the interest in learning an additional language. By offering multiple sequences of courses, it has successfully created an effective consolidated learning mode for students to construct their own knowledge. This platform additionally provides a targeted assessment for teachers to examine their students as a formative way. Duolingo has successfully demonstrated its approach to promote social constructivism with its powerful designs to useful function. By combining the Vygotsky theory and scaffolding in their course design, Duolingo has presented a game-style learning mode to the student. It's just like the Plant and Zombie. Players must need to complete the games level by level in order to win the game. At the beginner stage, website will provide the maximum assistance, which is create an active learning atmosphere that allows learners to practice and construct their personal understanding of knowledge with the comprehensive language skill, including the reading, writing, listening, and speaking tasks. As the amount of the practice increase, the amounts of assistance decrease. And eventually the students will be expected to complete the level with the non or minimal assistance. As a well-developed language learning website, Duolingo offers learners a variety of choice that satisfies their diverse needs for learning. The choices including the live voice speaking, handwriting, picture, and listening as there are multiple forms of answering questions. Duolingo also provides extended information of cultural that relevant with the linguistic background. It is useful for students to establish their own knowledge network with a specific social context, which is theoretically supported by social constructivism.